Mortis's Little World of Horror. This is a video response update. I was tagged recently from JP, Justin Patrick, over there at Double Shot J YouTube channel. What's up, JP, man? And basically, the video response is just somebody tagging you, wanting you to say your piece about something. And this topic on this episode is movies that we feel need to be Blu-ray released. So very excited. I've never done a video response, mainly because I've just never been tagged. So JP, tag, I'm it. Thank you, buddy. So I'm going to tag a couple people. Could have tagged hundreds, man, but I'm going to tag a couple that I'd like to see do. And one of them is Andrew Ballina. I like Andrew, man. I love his videos and whatnot. What's up, chap? And totally love to see Andrew do one. So I hope you'll do one of these, Andrew. YouTube channel for Andrew's down below. Definitely check out his page. And also BluRay Evan. BluRay Evan is always commenting and a really great supporter on my YouTube channel. And Blu-ray, man, I'd really love to see your response. I know you got a lot of Blu-rays, a lot of DVDs, and I'd like to see your thought on what you would like to see released that hasn't been. So with that said, a lot of these titles I'm going to give may have been released maybe in other countries, but to my knowledge, these have not been released in the United States. And that's what I'm mainly looking at, is stuff that I can get on my Blu-ray player. I don't own a region free at this moment, which I totally need to get, because I definitely want a lot of the Arrow video titles, even though they are coming to the US, but some of the older ones that they released definitely want to have. So I will be getting one in the future, but for right now, the Blu-rays I want to see is the Blu-rays to be released here in the US. So with that, no particular order. I did not spend, JP, I apologize, did not spend a lot of time going through my catalog. I just basically skimmed through my DVD collection just to see some titles that kind of popped out at me, and that's the ones I did. If any of these have been released on Blu-ray, they have not been released to my knowledge, or they've slipped through my fingertips and just didn't see it readily available. So if they are already on Blu-ray, I apologize. Hit me up in the comment section below and say, hey, Greg Mortis, you're stupid, man. It's already on Blu-ray or whatever. But anyways, let's get into it. First title up is a movie I just recently got from Slasher Matt. And I'm going to go ahead and tag Slasher Matt while I'm thinking about it. So that's my third one. Do this with a broken pen here. Slasher Matt. You're down, buddy. You have been tagged as well. I'd love to see your choice from Killer Flicks Podcast. But anyways, he sent me this Grindhouse releasing of Pieces, which is a really, I think, strong horror film that I absolutely enjoyed the crap out of. You don't have to go to Texas for a chainsaw massacre, and I'm telling you, I thought this was a really good film that I would love to see on Blu-ray, just for the fact that I want to see the red blood, man. I want to see what it looks like with a proper Blu-ray release. I want to see that brightness out of it. Plus, hopefully they can lighten up a little bit of the darker scenes, but I just think this one looked really good in Blu-ray. So Pieces, definitely want to see that. Next up, this one is coming out on Blu-ray really soon. It was released by the Twilight debacle, but it is Christine, but I threw that in because it's not out right at the moment. But I'm really looking forward to the Christine Blu-ray release in the US in a wide release, and not this Twilight debacle where you could only have so many copies, and whoever would buy 1,000 of them, and then there was no more. So I'm glad to see that one's getting proper attention. Next one up, these three titles, I bought this at a Big Lots recently on DVD, and I'd love to see all three of these titles, JP, on Blu-ray, and guys and gals, and that's Legacy, The Sentinel, and Sis, or however you want to say it. I really have enjoyed this. You can get this DVD, by the way, for $3 at Big Lots. Definitely go get it, man. It's well worth it. To put these three in order, I definitely want to see the Sentinel first, then Legacy, and then the Snake movie. Just because the Sentinel, I thought, had a really creepy undertone to it, starring Chris Sarandon, and then the Legacy with Sam Elliott, and then the Snake movie. I just think all these I'd really enjoy on a Blu-ray. Would definitely love to upgrade but I want them on individual. I don't want it in a 3-pack because they typically skip a little bit or skimp on it. And sometimes the transfers just ain't quite stellar when you get it on multiple movies on one disc. So I definitely want to see a full-blown release of all 3 of these for sure. Moving on, Stephen King, Maximum Overdrive, filmed here in Wilmington, North Carolina, where I live right now. It's not the best film in the world by any means, but with that said, I've always had fun watching this one. Of course, starring Emilio Estevez. The trucks that come alive. I'm telling you, man, I would absolutely love to see a proper Blu-ray release of this. And while I'm even mentioning it, man, any Stephen King movie, and I'm going to have some more in here, but God, I just love Stephen King adapted films and love to see them all on Blu-ray. Another one, this one was released from Miramax, and to my knowledge, I've not seen it on Blu-ray, and it's starring Jamie Lee Curtis, Peter Gallagher, Joanne Whaley Kilmer, and it's the movie Mother's Boys, who I think everyone should see this film, and I would definitely love to see it on Blu-ray. Such a good, strong film for me, good psychological thriller. Jamie Lee Curtis, a villain in this one instead of the Heron, and I'm telling you, man, I think this one would look absolutely gorgeous on Blu-ray. So I would love to have this one upgraded to Blu-ray. Next up, this is an independent flick that I got recently from a friend on Facebook, Keith Brower. What's up, Keith? Keith sent me a box load of movies for Christmas. You can go check out my Christmas haul that I did back several months ago, and you'll see the movies that he sent me. But this was one that was in there. I had never heard of it, and just happened not too long ago to be going through putting them up, and I said, man, I'm going to check this one out, and boy, I'm glad I did. This one was released by Gamma Knife Films, and it's a movie called Sleeper, If I Die Before I Wake. And this is such a great film, man, especially for independent. It's got a really cool bonus feature on the DVD itself where it's a featurette of the making of, and it's really good. You get to know the cast and the director himself, who's such a huge horror fan, and this is kind of homage to all the movies that he loved. And I'm telling you, Sleeper is a really stellar slasher flick, man, that deserves a Blu-ray. My God, I'd love to have it on Blu-ray. Such a good film. If you don't own it, at least get your hands on the DVD, but let's hope for a Blu-ray of this, man. Really good film, in my opinion. Next up, this is from the Midnight Movies double feature. The one title's already been released on Blu-ray. I already own it, and that's Motel Hell, but I'd love to have the other feature on this one, Deranged. Kind of an Ed Gein / Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, and I really enjoyed this one. It's not the best acting or the best camera work or anything. This is almost, guerrilla warfare style filming, but I loved it. Have fun with this one. Up until Scream Factory released Motel Hell, man, I would always watch these back to back just because they were on the same kind of the same copy, man. So I do love Deranged. Would love to see that on Blu-ray. Properly released by itself, man. So definitely Deranged would be one on my list. Talking about Stephen King. Now these are two. One of these has already been released, but this is When Animals Strike Back Volume 2 released. But anyways, I would love to see Graveyard Shift, JP. I'm with you on that, as well as Silver Bullet released on Blu-ray. Absolutely freaking love Silver Bullet, and that one I would want more than any title. Probably in my whole list of anything, I want to see Silver Bullet on Blu-ray. But anyways, Graveyard Shift or Silver Bullet, but specifically both of them, I think deserve and need to be on Blu-ray. Would love to have it. I love Silver Bullet, man. One of my all-time favorite flicks, period, bar none. I love it. Watch it all the time. And filmed here in Wilmington, North Carolina as well. But definitely get Silver Bullet out on Blu-ray. But Graveyard Shift would be a bonus. All right, next up here. This one now is a public domain movie, so the transfer probably would not be that great, but still I would love to upgrade it. And it's Francis Ford Coppola's Dementia 13. This is another film from way back in the day. I'm trying to remember the actual year of this. Seemed like it was back in the 50s, maybe. God, I should have done a little research on that before I opened my mouth. But anyways, Dementia 13, I think, has a great undertone of a film. The atmosphere is great. I thought the acting was good. It's got a good twist to it, kind of a whodunit style flick that I just absolutely love, love, love. And I've got this probably on at least 4 or 5 different movie packs, but I have it on this one as well by itself. Definitely want to see Dementia 13, and I'd love to see it done properly, not just released off a DVD transfer, but a really cool Blu-ray from original film sales and whatnot. That's what I'd really love to see. But Dementia 13, I think, needs to be Blu-rayed. Another one is a midnight movie release from MGM as well. Sandra Dee, Dean Stockwell, and Ed Begley, and it's the Dunwich Horror. I love this film as well. For midnight movie releasing like this, man, when I first seen the cover of this, it just caught my attention, man. I love occults. I love those style films, and I love the way this one looked. But I was thinking with Sandra Dee that this was going to be kind of a cheesy PG style flick, but this one really isn't. This one is a very, very dark, satanic style film that, man, I absolutely loved, man, and would totally love to have this on Blu-ray, man. Would absolutely enjoy it. The Dunwich Horror. Next up, I got to agree with JP on this one, and that's, of course, William Catt and Richard Ballina, but I'd love to see House on Blu-ray, as well as House 2, why not, but definitely for House, I would love to see released on Blu-ray. One reason it's not that the movie is just like out of this world excellent. It's a really decent film. It's not the best in the world, but just because I would love to see some of the scenes toward the middle, toward the end, where they got kind of out of this world effects going on and a lot of creatures and the netherworld and whatnot. I just would love to see it in Blu-ray and see the colors vibrating and maybe some good audio to it as well and some bonus features. But House, definitely, and House 2 would be a bonus on Blu-ray. Another one I'd like to see is from Something Weird Video, and this is The Mad Butcher, Italian kind of comedy / horror film from back in the 80s. God, I love this film so much too, man. Such a good film. Had me laughing throughout, but it's still good. It's got some really good gore effects in it. But pretty much any Italian horror film, I'm going to go ahead and say it, if it's not out on Blu-ray, I want to see it, man. I love Italian horror. I love Italian giallo-style slasher flicks from the day. And fortunately, we're seeing the Dario Argentos and films like that being put out on Blu-ray, but I would love to see any and all Italian horror released. I mean, other than, of course, the United States with the slashers we had and the Canadian slasher films from the 80s, man, my favorite, you couldn't really call it a subgenre, but my favorite country of movies would be Italian, man. I'm telling you, they done such a tremendous job back in the day. Love them, and I want to see Mad Butcher on Blu-ray. Next up is a Dee Snider film. This one was released from Lionsgate, so I don't know if we'll ever get it, but Let the Ritual Begin. But it's Dee Snider's Strangeland. I'd love to see this one on Blu-ray because of the color scheme of this movie. I just think the colors would be really vibrant and pop out on Blu-ray, so definitely would love to see this one. Strangeland, real creepy film, really gothic and dark, and the music's rocking, of course, with Dee Snider, and this one would be a fun one to have on Blu-ray. Next up, keeping with the rocker theme, is a movie that was released by Dementia, I believe it was, not Platinum. This one right here is Gene Simmons and Ozzy Osbourne. It's Trick or Treat. It was also filmed here in Wilmington, North Carolina. The story of Sam Kerr coming back from the dead. I love this movie, man. I love it. I had so much fun. This is one of them guilty pleasures that it's one of those that I don't hear a lot about, so to speak. It is kind of hard to find too, but at the same time, when people think Trick or Treat, they think of the the newer release Michael Daltrey film, which is fine, man. I love that. That's one of my all-time favorite horror films. But this one gets overlooked, and I think it's an underrated film. I know a lot of people hate it, but I'm telling you, I absolutely love this film and have fun every time I watch it, man. It's such a good film. This one I would love, and so deserving of a Blu-ray Trick or Treat. Alright. Another one is a Something Weird video release, and this is of Herschel Gordon Lewis's original 2000 Maniacs from 1964. Man, I love this movie. Even though it's not the best acting or best camera works or anything like that, but it's still a really good film that I enjoy watching. And there again, I love Herschel Gordon Lewis. Pretty much, if his film's not out on Blu-ray, I want him on Blu-ray. I just loved him as the godfather of gore. The red blood that he introduced, the way he did, man, was so outstanding. And I definitely want to see all his, but 2000 Maniacs especially on Blu-ray. Another one I have to agree with JP on is the Artesian release of Wishmaster and Wishmaster 2. This one totally, the whole series actually should be on Blu-ray, but I could overlook 3 and 4 because they're shit. But you know, number 1 and 2 starred Andrew Devoff as the Wishmaster himself, the Djinn. Those are stellar. The other 2 suck. But if you've never seen the Djinn, man, you got to check out, if you could see him right there. Man, I'm telling you, it's so freaking creepy and the effect of it. I'd love to see this one on Blu-ray. This one definitely deserves Blu-ray treatment. Scream Factory-esque, or even possibly Synopsis or Blue Underground Vinegar, someone like that, but someone that'll do a good job with it. Alright, next up, I'm going to have to agree with JP on this one as well. Now, I didn't want to copy anybody. I wanted to try to get titles that hadn't been mentioned, but these definitely, you know, still need to be mentioned by myself as well. And this is the Cannibalistic Humanoid Underground Dwellers, CHUD. Oh, what a fun film. Back with like the Basket Case and It Lives and those style films, man. CHUD totally deserves Blu-ray. Would totally, man, eat this up, man. I love CHUD. Such a good, fun film. Gritty New York City, you know, all them films. I gotta agree with Justin with like the New York Ripper and style films like that. I'm telling you, it's something about those films that were filmed in the alleyways of New York, Chicago, you know, all these back in the day. I just love the atmosphere of movies like that. I think that's why I loved Zombies so much as well, was those original scenes at the beginning of the movie, man. I just, oh, eat it up, man. But CHUD definitely needs Blu-ray. Next one, and this is from Snops Film, so this one is one that I'm really questioning myself on, because this one may have been released on Blu-ray. If it has, man, I apologize, and if it has, comment below and let me know, because I will buy it, man, because I want it. But from the director of Basket Case, man, Frank Henenlotter himself, it's Brain Damage. Such an amazing, beautifully shot, colorful, vibrant film that, oh, I just so deserves a Blu-ray. If it's not been released, man, I will own it for sure, man. I'm telling you, with all the colors in this film, it would be out of this world experience. Love this movie. Definitely needs Blu-ray if it hasn't already. Brain Damage. And next up, and this will be my last one right offhand. I will mention Stephen King's It. I do agree with Justin on that one, man. That one totally needs to be on Blu-ray. But there again, all pretty much 90% of Stephen King's adapted films, if they're not on Blu-ray, should be on Blu-ray. So this one right here, though, this one's from Brentwood Home Video that released the version I have. Don Gronquist, and this is the movie Unhinged, slasher film from back in the day. Don't hear a lot about this film for whatever reason. I think it's a really, really strong horror film. This is supposedly the original uncensored version, and I think this is a really stellar film for Blu-ray, man. It's got some good blood effects in it, some good acting, whatnot. Contains nudity, violence, language, disturbing themes. It's a good film, man, with a really decent twist at the end, a good plot twist that I loved. The acting's not that great in this film, but still I have so much fun with this one, and I hear very, very, very little about it. And that's why I think that it's underrated and deserves a Blu-ray there for sure. So with that said, that's all that I could think of right off the top of my head, JP, and fans. Hopefully, you know, I know there's probably thousands and thousands of titles out there that I would love to see that I just can't think of off the top of my head, but I wanted to go ahead and do a quick response. That's something just right off that I'm thinking about. But with that, I'm Greg Mortis. This is my little world of horror. You want to stay tuned. Probably the next video, to my knowledge, will be coming up from me. Will be a movie review, and that's going to be from Brain Damage's release of Horror House on Highway 6. I got to do a movie review for that, so that'll probably be the next video release I have. I believe that movie hits streets probably in August, early August, so I definitely am going to have a review up for that. So stay tuned. So for Greg Mortis, for my little world of horror, for the tag from JP, definitely Andrew Ballina, BluRay Evan, and Slasher Matt, man, do your video, please, man. I want to hear your responses. And anybody else watching this, if you are watching my channel and you're not tagged, that's fine. It's okay. Do it anyways, and tag me in it and let me know, because I want to see it. Because I want to see everybody's responses, because I know there's a lot of titles out there that I've not seen, or that I don't own, or that I didn't think of that need Blu-ray releases. So definitely do that. So until next time, definitely tune in to Land of the Creeps, blogspot.com, a podcast. Check that out. So this is Greg Mortis signing out till next time. Peace.